guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly and this is our place to be plant biased. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Today we are talking about mozzarella cheeses, non-dairy of course, and cheese is one of those things that vegans typically take a really long time to give up. It has a lot of really addictive qualities to it, so unfortunately, you know, we get hooked on this stuff and we crave it and it's really hard for us to give it up. But thankfully, there are some really fantastic vegan plant-based options out there. I'm focusing just on mozzarella cheeses today because there are just so many options and I couldn't feasibly do a comparison of all of the vegan cheeses out there. It's just too much. And there are even more mozzarellas than this, but this is what I found in my local grocery stores. Today I have 2 shredded and 2 block cheeses. I have Violife mozzarella shreds. I love Violife. They're a really great company. They're one of the first cheese brands that I tried as I was, vegan curious. I have everybody's, love-hate relationship cheese, Daya or Daya. I'm not sure how you say it, but this one's also shredded. They all say, well, both of these say vegan on them, which is really great. And it also says certified plant-based on this one. So I really like that. They make it super easy to know what you're getting. Awesome. Then we have Follow Your Heart, vegan gourmet mozzarella. It comes in a block form. I think they also have shredded, but I chose the block. And then the Miyoko's block, which I opened for this purpose, and I had it on some pizza the other day, so I'm already a little bit biased. I love Miyoko's, but it comes in a package kind of like this where it's sealed. So I have them all out for you, kind of so that you can see the difference on this beautiful little display board. We have the Violife, which is a really nice like white creamy color, really beautiful. Then the Miyoko's, which is white, looks a little like creamy gray maybe. The Daya or Daya is probably the most yellow of the cheeses, and then the Follow Your Heart is just like a nice creamy like buttery look. So give you a nice close-up. Beautiful. So today I'm going to be tasting them so you know what they taste like as is, just plain, not cooked, and then I'm going to be baking them on some pizza dough to see how they melt, if they melt at all. That's kind of a problem with a lot of vegan cheeses is, number 1, a cheese funk. Number 2, meltability. Because nobody wants cheese just to, well, I mean, I guess you might want cheese just to eat cheese if you're having like a cheese plate or something, but most of the time it's like quesadillas, grilled cheeses, melting on Italian food, having in a sandwich. We want these things that mimic what they're supposed to, mimic the dairy version of it, right? Without being dairy. So I'm going to taste them as they are, tell you how they taste, what their mouthfeel is like, what their texture, that's like texture, if they taste good on their own, if they have a cheese funk. And everybody who's tried a vegan cheese knows what I'm talking about. That vegan cheese funk is like, it's hard to avoid. And some of the cheeses out there are really, really, really getting good at like taking it out of it. And I don't know what exactly it is, but it's like this, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. It's just funk. It's just weirdness. It doesn't taste rancid. It doesn't taste like bad. It just tastes like not right. Not right. So I'll tell you if any of these have them. I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of eating vegan cheese plain. It doesn't sound good to me because typically that is a product that we need to cook with to mask some of the flavor. Sometimes the texture is like a little bit rubbery, so we'll see. Who knows? So we'll start with the Violife, one of the shredded little guys. It looks really good. It looks really similar to a shredded mozzarella cheese. It smells good. It's not like too soft. It does pull apart, but it's pretty sturdy. I think I got enough. tastes good. It has like a really nice cheesy quality to it. It tastes very much like how shredded cheese is supposed to taste. It does have like the tiniest bit of that like aftertaste funkiness to it, but it's kind of like there's this little flavor that's almost like if you had plastic that was flavored to be like cheese, you know? So it's like there's just a little bit of funkiness, but overall it's really not bad. I wouldn't suggest eating it like this, but I don't think it's a bad thing either. And that's, as you know from my other videos, how I test a vegan product. Can I eat it on its own? Do I need to mask it in a recipe in order to stomach it, or can I eat it on its own? And if you can eat it on its own and it is delicious as is, that's a good product. So let's go to Miyoko's. I have my trusty Wusthof paring knife here to cut the cheeses. You don't need something this fancy, but I love this knife. I got it for my birthday one year, and I'll put it in a link down below for you, just in case you wanted to purchase one on your own. It's an amazing knife, so sharp it could cut your finger off, so be really careful. But I just find that I use it for everything around the kitchen, so I thought I would show it to you today. So Miyoko's. Smells really good. I have to say I've never eaten it on its own before. I've always like cooked it in something. It has like a really nice like textural nice like textural feeling. It's not smooth, it's not rubbery. It has like a graininess to it, but it's very nice actually. It's not rubbery. It has a really good flavor, and I don't detect any cheese funk. It has a really like good cheesy flavor to it. It's like a little bit buttery, a little bit cheesy. It's got like there's nothing that screams mozzarella to me, but I would say it's a really, really good alternative. Okay, Daya. And Daya is the cheese that like if you go to a pizza place and they have a vegan option, it's most often Daya. I don't like it plain. Ugh. Ew. I don't like it plain. There's a little bit of cheesiness, but there's a whole lot of funk and very rubbery. Not a whole lot of actual cheese texture in there. I'm gonna say that's not my favorite. Okay. Yeah, not a great flavor, not a great texture. All right, follow your heart. This one slices super easily. Oh, and it feels really plasticky. Like really like rubbery. And there's one thing about me, I don't like custardy things. Like I don't like Jell-O, I don't like flan, I don't like, even some creme brulees I can't really handle because I just don't like that texture, and this is kind of reminding me of it, and it's like making me want to gag a little bit. We're gonna do it. It's okay. Like there isn't really a strong mozzarella flavor there. I don't really get a whole lot of cheesiness at all. It has a texture that's not quite like the Miyoko's, that's like a little bit grainy, but it's not plasticky either. It might melt really well. But the texture is a little bit grainy, but a little bit plasticky, and the flavor is very, very mild. I would say the closest to the mozzarella flavor would be the Miyoko's or the Violife, which is, so my favorite for the shredded is the Violife, favorite for the block is the Miyoko's. Miyoko's has the best flavor and most profound flavor overall. The Daya has a not good flavor. and a not good texture. It's very rubbery. The Violife has a good texture for shredded cheese and a pretty good flavor, although it does have a little bit of funkiness to it. And then the Follow Your Heart, texture's not terrible and the flavor is not terrible, but it's just not great. It's not something I would like really pick up again unless it does an amazing job in the oven. I don't know. So the Follow Your Heart is $4.99 at my local store. It is made with organic soybean oil, non-GMO product verified, now 84% organic. It is 80 calories per 1 ounce. I don't see anything in the ingredients that is alarming. Water, soybean oil, soy milk powder, natural flavors, agar, which is what makes it, you know, thicker, which, knowing what I know about agar, it has the tendency to make things like kind of jelly-y. That's a word. So that's probably where it gets its texture from. 95 milligrams of sodium, not great. 0 grams sugar and 1 gram protein. So it's not doing it for me, you know, plain, but maybe cooked it'll be better. The Miyokos, I barbarically ripped off the label for, but this is about the same price, $5-ish. Sometimes you can find a good deal. My local Target has it now, which is awesome. Says it's lactose-free, palm oil-free, gluten-free, soy-free. It's organic, which is awesome too. And then we have the Daya, which is 100 calories per quarter of a cup. It's dairy, lactose, and casein-free, gluten-free, soy-free, plant-based, no artificial preservatives. Can be frozen, that's cool. It's a product of Canada, didn't know that. Has vegan and certified plant-based right on the front. That's so great. Awesome. And it says it's an award-winning original product. And it also says that it melts and stretches. We'll see, Daya. Then we have Violife. Violife, just like mozzarella shreds, free from dairy, soy, gluten, lactose, nuts, preservatives. 100% vegan. Melts great, they say. Again, we will see. It is 80 calories per quarter of a cup, so less than the Daya. It has coconut oil, water, potato and cornstarch, mozzarella flavor, vegan sources, olive extract. Amazing. This all sounds good. And both of these seal with little, like, you know, zippery things, you know, the little sealers, which I like. Yeah, nothing alarming on here. That's awesome. Okay, so now that we've tasted them, I'm going to show you what they look like baked. See you then. Ta-da! So now we have our cheese melted on some pizza dough. My pizza dough was a little oversaturated. I make my own with a sourdough starter. So this one's not my perfect pizza dough, but for all intents and purposes, it's fine. So we can see what happened here. So our Miyokos looks like it melted okay. It got kind of brown, which is odd. You know, perhaps like it was overheated. I'm not really sure. Then next we have the Violife, which, let me hold this up for you. So Miyokos, kind of brown, but like still kind of melted. I mean, it bubbled up, you know. And then Violife, pretty melty. We have our Follow Your Heart. Kind of looks like toasted marshmallows, but also kind of melted. I mean, it looks pretty mozzarella-y. And then we have the Daya, which is still very yellow. It didn't melt as much as the Violife, I don't think, but they all look pretty good, you know? I mean, I really have no complaints so far. I might as well taste them, right? So Miyokos is what I'm most familiar with. It's usually what I use on pizzas and stuff. I've never seen it quite look like this, but I don't know. I used it under the broiler. So when I make pizza, I do it in my cast iron skillet. Then I put the dough in with all the fixings on top of it, and then I broil it for like, depending on how strong your broiler is, max like 10 minutes. And then it, you know, it's all good to go. And I didn't add anything else on here because I want to make sure that we just get the cheese flavor. So, Miyokos, let's see. Excellent cheesy flavor. Not exactly mozzarella, but fantastic cheesy flavor. No cheese funk. Kind of an interesting, like, grainy-ish texture, but not grainy, but like just textural. Not in a bad way, just it's not like so incredibly smooth, but it's creamy. And it tastes really fantastic. It's not overly salty. It doesn't have like an overly mozzarella flavor to me, but it tastes really good. And the texture is great. There's no cheese funk whatsoever. I would absolutely recommend Miyokos, especially for pizza, or in a like a heated panini or something. That would be fantastic. Okay, let's try the Violife. So this one I think melted really well as a string cheese, as shredded cheese. It's really white looking. Let's give it a try. Okay. It's chewy. So it has a really like creamy flavor, and it tastes very much like any vegan shredded cheese will. It has a little bit of cheese funk, but overall the flavor is good. It doesn't taste as like natural as the Miyokos. The Miyokos tastes like very naturally cheesy, and the Violife tastes a bit more processed, I guess. It's good, but it does have a little bit of cheese funk, a little bit of like plasticky-ness, and you know, it melts pretty good, but it definitely has a distinct flavor that I don't really think is perfect. I mean, I think if you put, you know, sauce and maybe some basil or some spices or something, you wouldn't taste it as much. But again, I don't really like to do that with my vegan products. I like to make sure that they can stand on their own. It's good. For a shredded cheese, a shredded mozzarella, it's good. It tastes very much like any vegan pizza that you're going to get from just about any pizzeria trying to have a vegan slice available. So it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, follow your heart. I really didn't like the texture of this one just plain, so. I don't really taste anything. I don't get any cheese funk, which is good. It's like kind of cheesy, but it's really subtle. Like I barely even taste that it's there. It doesn't really taste like anything, but I don't get any funk, which is good. So if you're kind of looking for a mozzarella that melts and like kind of looks the part, I would say that's a really good option, and it's not too expensive either. It's $4.99 for that block. The shredded guys, the Violife is $5.99, and the Daya is I think $3 to $5 as well, depending on where you get it. The Miyokos is also like $4 to $6, depending on where you get it. I'm having a hard time having an opinion about that one because I don't really taste it too much. It's like, it's almost like it doesn't smell good. I'll tell you that. It smells funky. I mean, the texture's okay. Much better melted or baked than it is on its own. It's just not really wowing me. Like, there's no, like, real stellar, I don't know, like, there's nothing I really love about it, but there's nothing I really hate about it either. So, maybe that's good? I don't know. Okay. Daya. That one has really surprised me because that was the worst tasting one when I just ate it plain, but I don't get like any cheese funk now that it's baked, and it doesn't have the same rubberiness. It melted pretty okay. Not as nice as the Violife, I don't think, but it smells good, and I get more of a cheesiness now. And I don't get any cheese funk. That's magic. Because before, it was not tasty. I could barely stomach it. The magic of baking. Yeah, so I would say, I don't know, this is kind of difficult now because I think the Dia tastes better than the Violife baked. But the Violife definitely tasted better than the Dia plain. And then the Miyoko's is far better than the Follow Your Heart for the block. And I think my favorite for flavor and texture overall is the Miyoko's. It's just, I love them. They use really great ingredients, really, organic, really just natural flavors, and, it just tastes good. It just tastes good. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a really, really good product. The shredded cheeses are good. They don't melt super well like a real dairy cheese would, but I think that both of the shreds are really good options. But I would say if you're looking for something for pizza night, you might want to go with Dia because it's cheaper than the Violife and it doesn't have the cheese funk, but the Violife has cheese funk, and that's not good. But I would say stay away from the Follow Your Heart because it's not killing it on texture or flavor. So I would say there are way too many other good options out there for you to settle for that. So there you go. I hope that that's helpful for you to see them plain and baked on some pizza crust. Hopefully I have inspired you to have a pizza night of your own. There are so many fantastic options out there. I would say definitely go with the Miyoko's if you're looking for something really classy and complex and beautiful tasting. But if you're looking for something that's like just, real easy, already shredded, just kind of fun and a little bit cheaper, I would go for the Dia. It's really a lot better than it was by itself. I would not eat it alone, but I would put it on pizza and I would definitely melt it because it has a really good flavor after you cook it. So that's awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like this video. I love doing this for you. If you have any suggestions for me, please put them in the comments. I will be back with you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.